I am Wonder Woman. Do you think I can just rip it? Oh my gosh. Oh, stop. Oh my gosh, I want this in my house. Ugh, Ellen, you are just too good. But how cute does this look? Frothing, love it. Take two. I definitely cannot move this on my own, but let's just get a peek at the color. Oh, just kidding, there's a second layer of cardboard. Don't fall on me, please. Be lighter than I thought. Oh God, it's not, it's heavy, it's heavy. I just need a minute. Stop it. Well, hello and welcome to part 2 of creating my dream content studio for the second time. We're expanding Mackenzie Studios. If you haven't watched part 1, I'm going to link it down below and up on a card. Definitely go check that out if you're interested in the business, the finding location, all of that good stuff. I think I'm going to have to give up on the furniture unboxing for today and wait till Ellie can come help me tomorrow, because this is a huge mirror and I don't want to risk breaking it trying to get it out on my own. But hopefully you enjoyed this little teaser of what's to come. For now, I'm heading to my uncle's house because we are building some movable backdrop walls. In this vlog, you can expect me to be dressing and styling the whole studio and working on a little bit of the behind the scenes automations and systems, and also sharing our marketing launch plan. So really fun if you're just a business girly and you love vlogs, but also if you're interested in starting your own studio, hopefully this vlog will be helpful as well. That's so funny. I just sat down in this random part of the studio and there's paint on the floor here. Not black paint, so it definitely wasn't me. It's been a couple of days and time is absolutely flying by. There is so much happening. As you can see in the background, we have some wood. We're at mid-assembly of our movable walls. You probably can't tell, but we painted these doors. So we decided the navy was giving too much of a corporate office vibe. We want the space to be really chic and modern, so gone for black accents. And I'm also painting the trim around the podcast room and the door there, that's navy. I started off by just purchasing some basic things for the studio from Kmart. So we needed rubbish bin, toilet brush, cleaning equipment, a couple of cups and things like that, cutlery. Also picked up some pretty vases and things to go on our shelving unit. And then I basically went crazy ordering stuff online, and I have this giant to-do list to keep track of everything. And then I also have a list of things that need to be purchased, and then a list of things on delivery. So I actually just purchased a whole bunch of these so I can archive that stuff. This is kind of the fun part where you get to decorate the studio, but because this is quite a large space, it's quite overwhelming, and we've kind of decided there's certain areas that we're just going to tackle at a later stage, both for money reasons, so we're not spending everything all up front, but also because our customers really like in our past studio when we're constantly refreshing and adding new things and switching things up. So we want to use that to our advantage this time and not rush to have the studio completely finished to launch. We now have the majority of the furniture either here or on order. Just today, our chairs arrived from Mocha. They're just over there in the cardboard box, but I have curtain rods. I actually ended up buying some sheer fabric off Temu and took them over to my mum's house yesterday, and she sewed a quick little line through them. We folded them in half, sewed a line, and those are going to be our curtains now, and they actually look really, really good because I was struggling to find 3-meter high curtains that also weren't custom made or going to break the bank. Speaking of Temu, you would have just caught a glimpse of these amazing giant flowers that we have, and my landlord is they work in the property next door. They had seen the flowers through the window, and this morning she was like, oh my gosh, can I come see your flowers? I can see them from the street. And they look amazing. And I'm very, very happy with how they turned out. It's definitely been a little bit more stressful. I was editing part 1 of this vlog series and I was like, I'm not even stressed. And I was like, lol, that's hilarious, Ellen, because I am now very stressed. I still need power and internet connection. We still need to finish the movable walls. As you can see, they're in pieces. I need to do the hanging flowers installation. We have placed the iFurniture order, so I can tick that off. We need to hang all the curtain rails and get the curtains up. I need to order a bunch of our photography equipment, backdrop stands, wall-mounted backdrop stands, lights. I'm still waiting on all the podcast equipment to arrive. There's been a delay there. We need to fit out this room here. It's going to be the dressing room, so we're going to have some wallpaper on there. We actually have a really cool collaboration with a local brand, this artist Maggie Lamb, who's doing some amazing feature walls with us with her wallpaper, and I'm very, very excited about that. And then we need to do all the website stuff. Luckily, I have my new business operations manager who's kind of taking care of a lot of that. And then the launch party, we need to plan for that. The podcast room is also just like completely empty, but most of the stuff we need for that is on order. Happy Sunday. It's been a couple of days since I updated the vlog because things have been very hectic. We finished all of the building of our movable walls, got some undercoat on them, filled all the nail holes, sanded. Then we decided to put up some paneling because we're a sucker for punishment. We did paneling in our last studio and it was such a mission, but it's also one of the most popular features in the studio. Everybody wants photos with the paneling. So we thought putting some on the movable walls would be cool to mix things up and kind of paint them in some bold colors. So that's what we've been doing yesterday. We had my lovely friend Abigail come and help, which was very, very, very helpful because we also worked on installing some wallpaper, which we're very happy with the end result. It looks beautiful, but we're not the most DIY savvy people. This is all very out of our comfort zone. And let's just say the wallpaper took a hot second. So today I have called in the big guns, aka my mum, to come help with more painting. We are installing a hanging flower, I don't know what you call them. I was gonna say a mobile hanging flower art, let's call it. We also have some more wallpapering to do in our dressing room. We've got to get the whole dressing room fitted out, build the clothing rail, all of that stuff. I think my eye bags have eye bags at this stage. I'm very tired, but we have reached the exciting point after a big weekend of work. I'm kind of getting the space ready to take some photos and styling our bookshelves. Does this not look awesome? Minimalist is what I'm going for. I might get a few more things and play around with it again and fill it in a bit more, but at the moment, it's pretty cute. I had a drama at the printers this morning. I meant to get prints done for these frames and their printer was broken and leaving white streaks through anything you printed in an A1 size. So I've ordered them to another printer and I'm gonna go pick those up now. But I also have these bits of art down here to put up on the wall. Eventually we're gonna get some floating shelves on this wall, but for now, for launch, that's going as is. This room is also shaping up. We've got our flowers and dink down here. We've got our hanging flowers we did yesterday. This needs a little bit of a touch up. I just tried to finish off the black line and made some smudges. And then the actual other side of the green wall hasn't been painted at all yet. I'm kind of thinking we might just run out of time to do it before we go live for bookings, but I think I can do it later in the week before our launch party. Look at this cute little outlook. This is our dressing room. This is a chair that we found on Facebook Marketplace, and you can kind of see through into the other room. But if I take you in here and get the light on, I'm really happy with how this space came together. This is a table we already had. I want to get my little white poof from the other studio to put here, but we had this stool that I got on clearance that I've just put here for now. We've got the clothing rail and this beautiful mirror. so people can kind of get ready in here, check out their outfits, hang everything up. I'm going to get the steamer down here as well so people can steam their clothes. This other room is a complete mess. A lot of this stuff is going to go up in the storage area. You can see the entrance up there, but I've kept some of it out because I need to paint that final wall. So I need to do some sanding and, you know, keep all that stuff out. I've also got the drill for putting up the art in the podcast room. That is so pretty. We also have the ladder hiding behind here because we're actually going to put a paper roll backdrop mount on this wall. We tried to do it the other night and then we unboxed it and it didn't come with screws. And we're like, you know what? This seems like quite a complicated task and we don't want to mess it up. So let's tackle this with maybe a fresher headspace tomorrow. So we're going to do that when Ali's finished work. I'm going to run to the printers now. I'm going to pick him up. We also have the rug for the podcast room that's finally being delivered. Oh, I can't lie, I'm pretty exhausted at this stage. Like, I just can't make any more decisions. My brain is going offline, but I'm so lucky because this month I hired a new operations manager, or I've never had an operations manager before. So I hired a person, created this role in my business, and she has been a lifesaver in this process. She's working across Mackenzie Studios and Dishing Up Digital with obviously a heavier focus on Mackenzie Studios this month. So she came in with me today and we framed all of the art in the podcast room, which was like quite a lot of work. Sorry, my neighbors are installing a banister, so it's a bit noisy. And we also just cleared away all the cardboard. So there's still a little bit of polystyrene that needs to go to the recycling center, but there was like literally a mountain of cardboard in here. So that was huge. And then I've gone through and kind of cleaned up everything. So we need to get photos so that we can launch online for bookings. We're not ready for people to come in yet. I've still got another day up my sleeve, but we wanted to make sure we could just get the bookings live because we really got to get some cash coming back into the business. And we've also had a lot of people being like, when can I book? When can I book? When can I book? So we basically open bookings. And then we have me doing a photo shoot tomorrow. And then we have one of our regular members doing a photo shoot on Wednesday. So we're doing kind of like a soft launch. We don't have to have everything ready, but we want to have like the basics. We want the place to be neat and tidy. And yeah, we just want to get some content out there and start promoting it. Winter has well and truly arrived here in Auckland, so apologies, it's very dark and I've put my overhead lights on so it looks a bit funky. We're obviously not in the studio, we're in my office, and to be honest, I need a little bit of break from that place. Although I am going in this afternoon, but it has gotten to the point where it's very overwhelming and I'm just like on the other side of a project and now I'm like, ugh, sick of it. That was my life for a month. Like I'm done. And funnily enough, this is exactly what happened with the Simon Street studio. As soon as I got it finished and we launched, I was like, I don't want to see it again. And I remember the vlog that I made of that launch. I think it took me like something ridiculous, like 4 or 5 months to actually like upload it onto YouTube because I just didn't even want to edit the video. And that is what happens at a lot of these big projects. I think people don't talk about in business. Like you do exhaust yourself and then you're just not even excited about it anymore. But I am super proud with how the studio come together. I basically did a content day with one of our regular photographers. So we did a photo shoot and then I also filmed some YouTube videos and some reels. It was kind of like my first content day in the studio. And I did do a little mini vlog of that over on my Instagram. So I will link that. Or I did upload it as a YouTube short because I'm trying to do more of those. So I will link that if you want to see a little behind the scenes of that. The day after that, we had our first client in and they were one of our regulars on our membership. So it was kind of like a bit of a test run. Things went relatively smoothly, but they had a bit of construction noise that we couldn't figure out where it was coming from in our building. But I haven't had noise problems again. So I'm hoping it was just like a little bit of a one-off with someone, I don't know, like hanging up something or putting up bookshelves or who knows what in their office. And otherwise the feedback has been really positive. Bookings have been a little bit slower than our Simon Street space, but lots of enthusiasm and lots of people saying that they're going to book in. So I'm trying not to like stress too much about it, but I think naturally whenever you launch something new, you get really paranoid and you're like, oh my God, are people going to hate it? So we're trying to manage emotions at the moment. We also just had like a fluke situation where we had like 3 people all trying to book in on the same 2 days next week. And I feel like it's been a frustrating experience for them and for me. People like booking at the same time, people like wanting to book in, then organizing their whole team, and then the time slot's gone. And that's been really frustrating because I'm like, what is happening? We have so much empty space in our calendar for April, and people just want these 2 days. And it was randomly a Wednesday and a Friday. So not even our weekends, which is usually the most popular days of the week, is the weekends for us. And yeah, it was very random. But like every little thing like that goes wrong is like sending me over the edge at the moment. Like I get very stressed about it and very overwhelmed. So I'm trying to just take a little bit of a step back and really appreciate how much work I've done and focus on how proud I am and how grateful I am. But it's definitely hard. It's hard some days. So what I wanted to do was wrap up this vlog here and check in with you guys. Oh, we also had a launch party, which I wanted to tell you about. That was also a situation where we had a lot of people who couldn't make it at the last minute, which was a little bit of a shame. So it was a smaller group than we were wanting, but again, still had a really great time. Lots of great positive feedback on the space, and we had a really fun little like cocktail bar and lots of food, and that was really a good time. So I'm happy we did that, and now I'm kind of launching into planning some networking events and workshops to try get even more people into the space. Marketing on socials has been all about just like consistently blasting the message of we're open for bookings, we're open for bookings. I'm creating lots of reels focusing on individual corners of the space so we can kind of showcase things in detail. I need to meet up with my studio manager / operations manager so we can film some like full walkthrough tours. But as I said, at the moment, I'm like, let's just focus on having a little bit of a break. And just like the imperfect action has also been a big thing. Like little things like we haven't done a full check-in video for how to get access to the property. We've just done photos in our info book and written instructions for now. And that's fine. Like we'll get to making that video. And other things like signage. We haven't got all our signage in place. And I just was getting a bit overwhelmed with different options. And I was like, you know what? It's actually okay to just pause and not have signage straight away. So if anybody else is struggling in their business at the moment, trying to do all the things, I want you to challenge yourself and see what areas in the business could actually wait. Like what stuff could you actually not force yourself to do right now? And just getting a few things off your plate that aren't actually essential is always a big help for me personally. I will no doubt be bringing you along for another content day, behind the scenes day in the studio in the future, but I wanted to finish this vlog here. And if you are interested in seeing more of the studio or more updates, please do leave a comment. Put your requests down below because I love talking about business, and I also love filming more like vlog content like this. I just find it really fun, and sometimes these videos, personally for me, are more interesting to watch, even though I know they don't get as many views as the like really educational, searchable, hot SEO topics. I love these, so I hope you guys enjoy them too. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!